Colonial Sydney in the late 1700s and early 1800s was a place of uncertainty, survival, and transformation. Founded in 1788 as a penal colony on the far edge of the British world, it quickly became one of the most important settlements in the Pacific. By the 1840s, tens of thousands of people lived here, free settlers now outnumbering convicts, and the small camp at Sydney Cove had grown into a functioning colonial city. First, I want to talk about the place where everything began. This view shows Sydney Cove in January 1788, when the first fleet arrived under the command of Governor Arthur Phillip. The foreground is the calm harbor water, broken by small boats and anchored ships. Beyond it, the shoreline rises gently, thick with trees and unfamiliar vegetation. On the beach, tents are being raised. Convicts unload supplies under guard. Officers shout orders. The air smells of salt, smoke, and damp canvas. The sounds are sharp and constant, waves against hulls, axes striking wood, voices carrying across the cove. There is danger everywhere. Food is scarce, the soil is poor. Disease spreads quickly among crowded camps. Relations with the local Gadigal people are tense and uncertain. Sydney Cove matters because it is the foundation of the city. This is where British rule in Australia begins. Today, this same harbour remains the heart of Sydney, though the raw camp has long vanished. This view shows the rocks by the early 1800s, rising above the original landing site. Rough stone cottages and makeshift huts cling to uneven ground. Narrow paths wind between buildings, dark and muddy after rain. Daily life here is loud and crowded. Convicts, sailors, and laborers live side by side. Children play in the streets. Dogs roam freely. The smell of cooking fires mixes with waste and seawater. Crime is common. Drinking is heavy. Fights break out at night. Authorities struggle to control the area, and punishment is harsh for those caught stealing or deserting. The Rocks matters because it houses the working heart of early Sydney. Later, many buildings are rebuilt in stone. Remarkably, parts of this district still survive today, making it one of the oldest urban areas in Australia. This view shows Government House in the early 1800s, overlooking the settlement. The building stands apart, cleaner and more ordered than the surrounding town. Guards are posted near the entrance. Inside and around it, power is exercised daily. Clerks move papers, officers come and go. Decisions made here affect rations, punishments, land grants, and survival itself. The tension is constant. Governors like Lachlan Macquarie, who arrives in 1810, attempt reforms, improving infrastructure and granting former convicts new opportunities. Not everyone supports these changes. Government House matters because it represents authority and order. Over time, the building is replaced and relocated. Today, the site remains closely tied to governance in New South Wales. This view shows the Tank Stream, Sydney's first freshwater source. By the early 1790s, it runs through the settlement, partially dammed and increasingly polluted. People gather here daily. Water is collected in buckets. Animals drink upstream. Waste flows back into the same channel. The smell grows worse with each passing year. Disease follows. Dysentery and illness spread quickly. By the early 1800s, the stream is no longer safe to use, forcing the colony to search for new water supplies. The Tank Stream matters because it shows how fragile early survival was. Today, parts of it still run beneath the modern city, hidden but preserved. This view shows Hyde Park in the 1820s, originally set aside as common ground. It is open and dusty, bordered by emerging streets and government buildings. Convicts are marched across it in chains. Soldiers drill here. Markets and gatherings occasionally form along its edges. Church bells echo nearby. Public punishment sometimes occurs in view of the park, reminding everyone of authority and consequence. Order is always enforced through visibility. Hyde Park matters because it becomes Sydney's first formal public space. Today, it remains a central green space, still surrounded by civic life. This view shows the Rum Hospital, Completed in 1816 under Governor Macquarie, the long sandstone buildings dominate the foreground, clean and imposing. Inside, patients lie in crowded wards. The smell of sickness, alcohol, and unwashed bodies fills the air. Medical knowledge is limited and survival is uncertain. The hospital was funded through a controversial rum monopoly, tying public health directly to trade and power. Critics object, but the building stands. This hospital matters because it marks an attempt at institutional care. Today, parts of it still exist as heritage buildings in the city center. This view shows Macquarie Street in the 1820s, carefully planned and lined with new stone buildings. The road is wide by colonial standards, signaling ambition. Officials, soldiers, and free settlers move along it. Carriages pass slowly. Shops begin to appear. The sounds are more orderly here. Yet tension remains. Class divisions are visible. Former convicts struggle for acceptance despite Macquarie's support. Macquarie Street matters because it reflects Sydney's transition from camp to city. Today, it remains one of Sydney's most important streets. This view shows Darling Harbour in the 1830s, busy with maritime activity. Warehouses line the shore. Ships arrive carrying goods, people, and news from across the empire. Workers load cargo. The smell of timber, tar, and animals fills the air. Trade expands rapidly, linking Sydney to global markets. Accidents are common. Drownings occur. Fires break out among wooden structures. Darling Harbour matters because it drives economic growth. Today, the harbour has been transformed, but its role in shaping Sydney endures. This view shows a road gang at work beyond the town. Convicts in irons break stone and clear paths under armed supervision. The work is exhausting and dangerous. Injuries are frequent. Escape attempts are punished severely. These roads matter because they connect Sydney to farms and future towns. Much of the colony's expansion depends on this forced labor. Some of these early routes later become major highways, still tracing the paths cut by convicts. This view shows Sydney in the 1840s, now recognizably a city. Stone buildings fill the skyline. Churches rise above rooftops. The population has grown rapidly. Free settlers dominate. Transportation of convicts ends in New South Wales. In 1840, the city looks forward rather than merely surviving. This moment matters because it marks a turning point. Sydney is no longer just a penal colony, but a colonial capital. Today, the modern city stands on these foundations, layered with memory.